Alright folks, I finally done it. I finally found a way to make mostly dimensionally correct 43 Mauser brass. So if you take a look at the head on this, see it has a very distinct head. Now I shoot it in a 71 Mauser, and this taper really doesn't matter. It could just be a square head, but it's really thick. That does matter. So I don't know if these would work in a 7184, but it would certainly work in the 71s. It would work in the rolling blocks, and I suspect it'd probably work in 7184s. I might load up some blanks, or not blanks, some dummies, and just try and cycle it. I know a couple of people that have the 7184s. But anyway, let's show you how we do this, or what I use to do this. So first you got to swage the rim. So this is kind of just beveled out. Set this in there. I got this little rod here. I reduced, this is 7/16. I reduced the diameter here so it doesn't bugger up the taper inside the case, and a little recess on the bottom so it doesn't bugger up the primer pocket or flash hole. Now I originally had this machined to fit in a press. I can't put enough pressure on a regular press, and I can't put enough pressure in an arbor press to swage this rim. And I've annealed it, it just won't work. So you got to use a hammer. So you stick this in there, give that a few whacks with a good heavy hammer. And I think my next piece, make a longer one of these, and then another shroud that sets over it to hold everything straight, because they do get a little crooked, but it machines out. So that gives you something that looks like this. This one here is actually really straight, but if you look at the side of it, well, actually that one is really straight. I machined up the crooked one, but the crooked one turned out pretty good. So let's go show you the next piece of the puzzle that lets me hold on to this thing to do the next machining steps. Alright, so if there's any machinists watching, you've probably seen this, and that was a dead giveaway. But this is an ER25 cullet chuck. I think ER32 is the most common size, but I have a very small lathe. It's only an 8-inch lathe, and the 25 was big enough for what I needed to do, and it was $50 for the chuck, a dozen cullets, and that wrench. It wasn't all one piece, I had to buy them all separate, but I got it all for like 50 bucks. So this is a spring cullet. These are actually meant for holding end mills and stuff like that, but because of the shape of them, I can put a piece of brass in there and grab a hold of it, as long as it doesn't have a crazy taper, and not mess it up. So, come on. I was trying to watch the camera, not the thing. Anyway, like I say, 1/2-inch cullet in it right now. I would tighten that up tighter, of course. To center this, all you got to do is leave the chuck out, run your live center in it, and tighten it up, and it's perfect. So as you can see, it runs nice and true, and it doesn't damage anything. So first step is to cut the diameter. So I cut it down to match 43 Mauser, and then I come in the back with, I used a TCMT, I can't remember what the triangular ones are called, but I got a different one coming, a little narrower one. Just come in the back and touch it. I just kind of do it by eye, and just do that until the 43 Mauser shell holder will drop over, and then you're done. And you've got yourself a more or less dimensionally correct 43 Mauser brass for a little bit of labor and the cost of a piece of 45.90. And yes, I know I can run 45.70, but I haven't done a lot of testing yet. I like to get the right length, see how they work out. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next video. One last note. After coming in and doing the last step I was talking about there, cutting the back, I also came in and just turned a little bit of a 45 on here. I was talking about how this here sometimes gets a little cattywampus from whacking at it, and yeah, that cleans it up. So this one didn't look nearly as good as that one. It was pretty crooked, but after I cut the diameter, cut the back for the rim width, and then cut the taper on the front, you can't really tell. So thanks for watching. Check out the next one.